Knueppel's already made a pair. He's got three!
Cooper Flagg and Kon Knueppel are already two of the most closely watched rookies in the NBA, and it didn't take long for them to prove why. In one of their first real tests against each other, both showed exactly what they bring at this level. Flagg put up a massive scoring night for Dallas, the kind of game that immediately gets compared to what past top prospects did in their first seasons. Knueppel for Charlotte delivered the type of performance that's becoming normal for him. Efficient shooting, smart movement without the ball, and calm decision-making in important possessions that directly impact the final score. That matchup is just merely a preview, but it fits into a larger trend. Flagg is already being asked to carry a big share of his team's offense and still impact the game on the other end. Knueppel is turning spacing, timing, and shooting into consistent value night after night. Both of them are playing roles that usually take years for young players to earn. In this video, we're going to break down how they reached this point so quickly, what their rookie seasons actually look like beyond the highlights, and why defenses around the league are already treating Cooper Flagg and Kon Knueppel as long-term problems, not just short-term storylines. Cooper Flagg and Kon Knueppel didn't just appear as impact rookies out of nowhere. A lot of this started with what they did together at Duke. Flagg arrived in Durham as the projected top pick in his draft class, and he played to that level right away. In his lone season at Duke, he averaged 19.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game, shooting about 48% from the field and 38.5% from three over 37 games. He led the team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, and became a consensus first-team All-American as a freshman, sweeping major National Player of the Year awards and immediately landing in the same statistical conversations as guys like Kevin Durant and Zion Williamson at the college level. Knueppel's resume at Duke looks different, but just as solid. In his 2024-25 season, he started all 39 games and averaged 14.4 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.7 assists, while shooting 47.9% from the field, 40.6% from three, and 91.4% at the line. That level of efficiency earned him a lot of recognition, plus a spot near the top of Duke's single-season records for free throw percentage and made threes by a freshman. That year at Duke showed both of them in real roles on a big stage. Flagg is the primary engine, Knueppel is the highly efficient wing next to him. Everything they did at Duke set the stage, but the real test was what would happen once they hit the NBA. Cooper Flagg stepped into the league with expectations that matched his college profile. In Dallas, he was treated like a main option from day one, not a long-term project. Through his first 51 games, he's averaging 20.3 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists. Shooting 47.3% from the field and just over 80% from the line, while adding around 1 block and 1 steal per night. Even with some natural inconsistency and a short absence due to a foot sprain, that level of production is what you'd expect from a primary piece rather than a typical first-year player. Meanwhile, Kon Knueppel's role in Charlotte looks different on paper, but is just as important. Instead of being the focal point, he's become one of the core pieces that makes their offense function. His rookie numbers back that up. Roughly 18.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game, with about 3.4 made threes a night on elite efficiency from deep. He's shooting 43% from deep and has already passed 200 made threes this season, breaking the all-time rookie record and putting himself near the top of the entire league in makes from beyond the arc. Together, their rookie seasons show two different ways to become a problem quickly. One through high usage and all-around impact, the other through efficiency and constant pressure as a shooter that changes how defenses have to guard every possession. Now that we've talked about the numbers, this part is about what those numbers look like on the floor. For Cooper Flagg, most of his value comes from how many different things he can do in one possession. He's bringing the ball up, running pick and rolls, posting smaller defenders, and still being asked to rotate, contest shots, and help on the glass. A lot of his touches start at the top of the floor or on the wing, where he can either attack a mismatch, pull up, or hit a cutter when the defense sends extra help. Even when the shot isn't falling, he usually finds a way to contribute by making reads as a passer or keeping plays alive with his activity. Kon Knueppel's impact is easier to see when you watch how defenses react to him off the ball. He spends a lot of time coming off screens, lifting from the corners, or spacing one pass away from the action. The threat of his jumper changes how tightly defenders are willing to help, which opens up driving lanes for his teammates. When he does get the ball, he rarely over-dribbles. It's usually a quick catch and shoot, a 1 or 2 dribble pull-up, or a simple extra pass to get a better look. Flagg's team leans toward versatility and creation. Knueppel leans toward efficiency and decision-making. Both styles are already reliable enough that their coaches are comfortable featuring them in real, late-game situations rather than just protecting them as rookies.
Quick double team on LaMelo Ball.
They force you into a lot of doubles.
And all the way around the horn, Kon Knueppel is the first of these two outstanding rookies to score tonight.
Their first real NBA meeting on January 29, 2026 in Dallas is one of the clearest early looks at what Cooper Flagg and Kon Knueppel already are as pros. Charlotte came out with a 123-121 win, but more importantly, both rookies played the kind of game you would expect from top prospects. Flagg carried a huge share of the offense for the Mavs and turned it into the best scoring night of his young career. He finished with 49 points, the most by any teenager in history. The efficiency stood out as much as the volume. He hit a large majority of his shots and kept Dallas within striking distance almost the entire way. Possession after possession, the Mavericks trusted him to create something, and he responded with the type of all-around scoring performance. On the other side, Knueppel gave Charlotte exactly what their offense needs from him, just turned up a level. He closed the night with 34 points on 10 of 16 shooting, went 8 of 12 from 3, while adding 4 rebounds and 3 assists. A lot of his work came from off-ball actions, punishing any later soft closeouts with clean catch-and-shoot threes. When Dallas tried to tighten up, his spacing opened driving lanes and simplified reads for his teammates, and in the fourth quarter, that impact became more direct, with his shot-making and late-game composure helping Charlotte close it out. The key sequence came in the final seconds. With the game tied and Dallas looking for a winner, Flagg tried to make a play, and Knueppel stepped in, reading the pass and forcing a turnover. On the next trip, he went to the line and calmly knocked down the deciding free throws. One game doesn't define a rivalry, but this one underlined the potential when these two share the floor.
There's so much length. And the lob to Flagg.
Their first year in the league already gives a basic idea of what their long-term roles are likely to be. Cooper Flagg is clearly being treated as a main piece in Dallas. He's handling a big share of the offense, touching the ball in most important possessions, and getting real responsibility late in games. That kind of usage usually points to a future as a long-term centerpiece. The player you expect to organize a lot of your half-court sets, carry stretches of scoring, and still be part of your defensive identity. If things stay on this track, he projects less as a complementary starter and more as the player the Mavericks are planning to build around. Kon Knueppel's situation in Charlotte points toward a slightly different role, but one that's just as valuable for team building. He's already functioning as one of their core wings, providing shooting, spacing, and steady decisions without needing a high number of dribbles or plays called specifically for him. Over time, that usually turns into a locked-in starting spot on the wing, the type of player you keep in most versions of your future lineup. If his shooting and feel hold up, he likely becomes a long-term automatic starter, consistent scoring in the teens, reliable floor spacing, and someone you trust on the floor in most closing units. The Rookie of the Year race is where Cooper Flagg and Kon Knueppel are most directly linked right now. Knueppel has the most straightforward case at this point. He's scoring in the high teens, doing it on elite three-point efficiency, and setting a new standard for made threes by a rookie while playing heavy, meaningful minutes on a Charlotte team that looks noticeably better than last season. Voters usually respond well to that combination of production, efficiency, and a clear impact on team success. Flagg's argument leans more on overall load and versatility. He's around the 20 points per game mark with solid rebounds and assists, and he carries a bigger share of his team's offense and responsibility on both ends. The case for him is that he's doing more things in more areas than a typical rookie, even if the efficiency isn't always as clean. How people see the award comes down to what they value. If it's about the most complete, high-usage rookie, Flagg stays in the picture. If it leans toward efficiency, shooting records, and a clear boost to team performance, Knueppel has the edge. Either way, both have already done enough to be central to the Rookie of the Year conversation, not just on the fringe of it.
Be-Will on a drive and dish, an open three, Cooper drains it!
Cooper Flagg and Kon Knueppel are having very different rookie seasons on paper, but they've both already reached the same basic point. Their teams have to treat them like real pieces, not experiments. Flagg is already carrying primary option responsibility in Dallas, the kind of role teams only hand to someone they expect to shape their identity for years. Knueppel is already playing the kind of winning wing minutes that good teams spend years trying to find, spacing the floor, making clean decisions, and holding up in real late-game situations. Zooming out, that's the real story behind the narratives in one big January matchup. In their first year, they've both moved past promising rookie and into franchise cornerstones. One looks like a future lead engine, the other like the kind of high-level starter every contender needs. If this is what year one looks like, the most interesting question isn't who wins Rookie of the Year. It's how many times we're going to see Flagg versus Knueppel circled on the schedule over the next decade. If you want more breakdowns like this on the next wave of NBA rookies, consider subscribing and letting me know in the comments which matchup you want to see covered next.